Okay, so quick rundown on that one again. Forgot to turn the recorder on. For excluded values, it's the denominator equal to 0. For the first example, we're just taking this example we have, and again, we're just going to exclude whatever makes that denominator equal to 0. And with the online problems, they'll give you like an A option where you list the numbers, and the B option is there's no exclusions. Okay, so example 2, basically the same thing, just a little bit bigger problem. Okay, so for example 2, we'll go with 1 over x minus 3 and then times x plus 5 over x squared plus 10x plus 24. All right. If you happen to have more than one denominator like this one has, that just means you've got to exclude both parts. So if you've got two denominators, you're going to set that one equal to 0, and you're also going to set this one equal to 0. Okay, so the more denominators you have, the more things are going to be that you're going to have to exclude when it comes off of it. Okay, first one, really easy, because this one's just x minus 3, so we'll just add 3 to both sides. So for that one, it's x equal to 3. And again, if we do it like the homework, we'll have it online. You'll have an x not equal to, and those have a big box there, so we'll put that 3 there to start us off with. Okay, second denominator. Now this one's x squared, so how many answers we're looking for? Yeah, 2, right? So whatever the highest power, if you start with this equation, whatever the highest power is, you're looking for that many answers. This one's where you're going to do your factoring. So this is where we're going back to that blue worksheet that we had from a while back. This one we're looking for the factors of positive 24, where the sum would equal positive 10. Okay, so listen off all your factors. We've got 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8. The good news on this one is that they're all positive. So for the numbers here, they'll all be positive. All right, the pair that adds up to 10 would have to be the 4 and the 6. So that's x plus 4, x plus 6 equal to 0. And solving that one gets really easy because, again, it's just the one step on both of those. So this one will subtract 4, and this one you would subtract 6. Okay, and then over here in our box where we've got this one restriction that's here, we'll just go back and just keep adding those in. So we got those 3 numbers. Okay, so finding the exclusions, pretty straightforward. It's just this denominator equal to 0. If you happen to have a second denominator, you also set that denominator equal to 0. Worst case scenario is you have to do a little bit of factoring on some of these problems. The good news is that most of the factoring is not bad. They might sneak in a harder one here or there, but most of the factoring is going to be fairly easy when it comes off of it. You're not going to have any weird, not going to have any factor by grouping, I don't think. Most of them it's going to be just your trinomials like this, where you'll just have a couple of factors to look at there. Okay, so after we kind of work through the excluded values and have to go through that one, here's where they'll kind of start actually having you do a few things. That they will have you do, well, 2 things. We're going to state the excluded values. Just like we were doing with this one. But at the same time after that, they're also going to say that they want you to simplify the expression. Okay. And whenever they say simplify, it really means 2 things. That means you have to factor and then cancel. Okay, and we'll do a couple examples on this one, and once we do 2 of these, that'll pretty much wrap us up for the day. So that we've got, example 1 here. So again, we're just kind of previewing today, just getting the basics out of the way, and then we'll come back in next week and add a few more details to it on Monday and Tuesday. All right, so for example 1, maybe something like this, where we've got x squared plus 2x minus 8. And it's over x squared minus 5x plus 6. Okay, so very first thing we do, before we do the simplifying part, we've got to state the excluded values. So again, that's our denominator. So we're just going to exclude x squared minus 5x plus 6 equal to 0. Okay, so we need the factors of positive 6 where the sum is going to equal negative 5. And again, this one's all about the signs on this one, because you could do 6 minus 1 or 1 minus 6 and get 5. You can also take 2 and 3 and get 5. So you've got to be careful with the signs on this one. For the b term is negative, that means the bigger number has to be negative. And to get the sign of the other number, we're going to do a positive divided by negative. That makes this other number a negative. Okay, so with negative 2 and negative 3, that would be what would get us down to negative 5. So that's going to be the x minus 2 and the x minus 3. And again, set both of those equal to 0 makes the solving really pretty quick, because then we'll just add 2 to both sides, and then we'll add 3 to both sides. Okay, and again, in the homework, they'll give you an x with an equal with a slash through it, and then you just got the box back here, and then you go back in and tell me, all right, what were the excluded values? Well, that was 2 and 3. Order doesn't matter as long as you've got the numbers, whether you put 2 and 3 and 3 and 2. It doesn't matter the order you put these in, as long as you've got the numbers correct. That's all that you got to worry about. Okay, so there's the excluded values, which again is just taking the denominator equal to 0 and then working that one out. The good news is that when you do the simplifying part, it says to factor and cancel, you've already factored the denominator, because that's x minus 2 and x minus 3. So all we've got to do over here is that if we want to kind of do this, this is where we're doing the simplifying part. That all we need to do is factor the numerator. So we're going to factor x squared plus 2x minus 8. Okay, and basically the same thing here. It's the factors of negative 8 where the sum is going to equal positive 2. Okay, and again, it's not going to be the 1 and 8, because that's adding up gets you 9, subtracting it gets you 7. So it's got to be the 4 and the 2. And again, the b term is positive, so the bigger number has to be positive. If you divide a positive and a negative, that means the other number is going to have to be a negative. Okay, so the top part is going to factor off as x minus 2 and then x plus 4. Okay, so there's all the factors. You factored the denominator to figure out what the excluded values were. You have to then factor the numerator, write everything out, and then whatever you have in common, that's where you just go back and cancel them out. So got the x minus 2's in common, you cancel those out, leaves you with x plus 4 over x minus 3, and that would be your final answer when they ask you to simplify. Okay, so when they're asking you to simplify the expression, they're really just saying factor your numerator, factor your denominator, cancel out everything you can, and then, oh, by the way, when you factor your denominator, that's also your excluded values that you have to look at. So it's all doing the same thing. It's just you have to do one thing extra with the denominator that you don't have to do with the numerator. Because the denominator, you got to set everything in the denominator equal to 0 to find your excluded values. Okay, and then last one of the day. And again, because we're just kind of doing this as a preview just to brush up and remind everybody of what we were doing with factoring, because it's been a little bit since we did a little bit of factoring. So let's do 2x squared minus 9x plus 10 over x squared plus 4x minus 12. Oh, sorry, can't see that. There we go. Okay, so same two steps. We're going to state the excluded values and we're going to simplify this thing. So again, if we go with excluded values, we're going to exclude x squared plus 4x minus 12 equal to 0. Okay, so that one, it's the factors of negative 12, where the sum is going to equal positive 4. Okay, not going to be 1 and 12. It's not going to be 3 and 4. It's got to be 2 and 6. And again, it's all about getting the signs correct here. The B term is positive, so that always goes with the bigger number. And dividing a negative 12 by a positive 6 means that one would be a negative 2. So bigger numbers are positive, small numbers negative, so that would be the 2 and the 6. Okay, and again, for the excluded values, we're going to set both of those two things equal to 0. This one will add 2, and this one will subtract 6. Okay, so excluded values, that'll put us at 2 and negative 6. All right, and again, when we simplify it, two things you're going to have to do is you've got to factor the denominator and you got to factor the numerator. We've already got the denominator factored here. So that was x minus 2 and x plus 6. Now we just need to factor the numerator. Okay, and I want to show you this one just to make sure everybody remembered what to do here. So we've got 2x squared minus 9x plus 10. We said when you factor this one, if it was x squared, we would just find the factors of 10 that equal 9, just like we did over here. That first number being a different number, if it's 2 or 3, it doesn't matter what it is, but that first number is something other than just x squared, 1x squared. You've got to multiply the 2 times the 10. So now we're looking for the factors of positive 20, where the sum would equal negative 9. Okay, not going to be 1 and 20. Not going to be 2 and 10. It's going to have to be 4 and 5. Okay, B term is negative. So if we divide a positive and a negative, it makes the other number negative. So in this case, both numbers are negative. All right, I'm running out of room, so let me just when I have to switch pages and move back and forth. I'm gonna do the rest of the factoring over here. Just cover this part up for a minute. This way we got room here. So this one would be x minus 4 and x minus 5. All All right, now flashback to your factoring. What do we have to do here to make this thing work out? Because we got one little thing we got to do. Divide by 2, right? Okay. So because we multiplied by 2 in the beginning over here to get this number to 20, if we were to go back and do the full method, it would be too big because we'd have 4 times 5 would be 20. Well, that number is 10. So we've got to go back and divide both numbers by 2. So if you multiply by 2 in the beginning to get the factors, and we have to because this first number is something other than 1, at the end, we got to go back and divide these numbers by 2. Okay, so this one will come out. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. So that's x minus 2. This one doesn't simplify. This is where we say we do the bottoms up. We move the 2 up in front of the x to make it 2x minus 5. Okay, so there's where we factored our numerator. So that's what we'll get to bring in up here. Okay, so we factor the denominator, we factor the numerator. Once you factor everything out, then anything that's in common, you get to go back through and just cancel that part out. We're left with 2x minus 5 over x plus 6, and that would be the final answer. Okay. All right, and again, we're not going to add any homework yet for this one this weekend. This is more of just, okay, this is kind of going back and jogging your factoring memory. Hopefully that you can kind of remember that this is what we're doing for factoring. A little bit with excluded values, just setting the denominator equal to 0. So this is more just, all right, this is what we're going to work on next week. So this was just a refresher today to kind of get us set up for what we need to do for next week.